Greetings to all of you and welcome to my channel. My name is Silvertongue Phoenix, and before I begin my video, I would like to make a quick announcement. Prior to now, my YouTube account had been on a slow descent into becoming a dead channel. This has been in part due to a lack of the necessary equipment, knowledge, and inspiration that I needed to expand on my content, which in turn had caused my channel to become stagnant. In light of recent events, however, I have fortunately obtained the necessary equipment to expand the focus of my channel, and thus have gained inspiration to add new content in order to revive it. In the future, I may consider adding things such as animations, voiceovers, covers, original music, artwork and speed paints, and possibly even reaction videos if I so desire to do them. For now, however, I will be adding gameplay and game commentary to my channel in hopes of giving all of you something more to enjoy from me. I have always been a fan of physics-based games and have a love of physics that I cannot even begin to describe. BeamNG.drive is a soft body physics simulator where you can drive and crash a decent variety of vehicles to your heart's content. For this reason, I will start with playing BeamNG.drive. Now that I have said everything that I wanted to say, let's get on to the video. I hope you enjoy. Now, to start with, well, to be honest, all of this is new to me, so I figured with a game like this, why not start with what has always been the original for the game. The good old-fashioned grid map, which is one of the first maps that was put into the game, and the very first vehicle that was modeled and put into the game, which is the white BeamNG pickup, otherwise known as the Gavril D series. This is the complete stock version. There are other versions, however, I think we can make a little bit of fun with this. And for some reason it's not moving. How did that get stuck in slow motion? I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen, but oh well. This truck drives like an absolute boat. Let's see if I can flip it off that ramp. No, I just managed to roll it very violently, of course, and I smack into the loop-de-loop. The loop ramp. And I don't exactly think it would be called a loop ramp, considering the overall fact that there is no ramp to it. It's just goes around upside down and then off another end, so not exactly a ramp, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know what I'm talking about. So let's take a look at the damage. The vehicle is still running. That's good. It doesn't seem to have hit the front end too much, so much as it has hit the rear end. I don't exactly think that you would be comfortable driving this in its current condition. Also, no tailgate. That's also a problem, and considering that the taillights are busted, that's also another problem, because you need to have working taillights in order for people to know if you're turning or stopping, because people apparently don't know that just by seeing a vehicle decelerating. Pardon me. Let's see if this thing still drives in a straight line, because, well, why not? Let's downshift it into first gear, get around this, because I don't want to hit anything right now. I might in a few seconds here. Yeah, surprisingly it drives pretty well straight for how much damage it got, but I would guess that it's mostly cosmetic damage rather than actual chassis and engine damage, I guess you could say. Look, I'm not very good with actually describing vehicle parts. Also, do forgive me, this is my first time recording my voice for anything other than being silly. So if I do come off as awkward or inexperienced, that's because, well, one, I'm new to this, and two, I am awkward and inexperienced. Let's reset that. And apparently there's a lot of YouTubers who have tried to bring the stock BeamNG pickup truck through the loop and have failed. Let's see if I can succeed. Let's change the camera angle so it doesn't flip on me, because I've seen other YouTubers try and do it with the orbit camera and it doesn't. I'm falling. I am falling. Oh, okay. Oh, I barely caught that in time, but I did catch that. That was a nice, solid hit to the ground. Unfortunately, the vehicle is upside down, so let me really quickly get that upright on its wheels. I probably just flipped it. Yeah, I flipped it again, so let's try that again. Less violent this time. And it's going to flip over now. Now, unfortunately, this truck is damaged beyond the ability to operate, unless, yeah, I just pressed V to try and start it, and it will not start. Well, my mind has completely drawn a blank, so let's just, I guess, move on to another subject, although how exactly am I supposed to do that when the subject of the video itself is driving and crashing? I know. I will take this off the... There's an actual flip ramp over here. Now, I have played this game a lot prior to doing recording, so I do know a little bit about some of the maps, but I don't know a whole lot in regards to every map. I also never know exactly what I should do in these, so I'm kind of just driving around trying to find something interesting to do, because when you've seen one BeamNG.drive playthrough or gameplay video, you've kind of seen them all. Because, let's face it, while the concept of a vehicle crashing is pretty cool on its own, it's only because crashes in real life are not as common as crashing a vehicle in BeamNG.drive. Where in real life, on a highway, you might get one, maybe two, maybe two crashes every so often. In BeamNG.drive, in a highway, you get one crash and then a pile-up. So, a lot of vehicles involved, because, let's face it, when you implement the AI into actually playing along, it doesn't like to play along properly, or at the very least, it's not very well implemented to the point where it can drive around like you or me. Of course, the AI probably drives better than me in game, because I'm kind of suck at this. Well, this truck is not driving straight, and I'm bored because it's not accelerating properly because, of course, I'm being an idiot and I did not shift the gears. One of the disadvantages of not using arcade mode is you have to remember when you're driving a manual vehicle to shift the gears. Let's go in here and check out another stock vehicle. As you can see, I do have a few, well, quite a few mods installed, but I think it would be better if I stick to stock vehicles for now. And what better vehicle to pick than a nice old-fashioned Burnside Special. Just for the sake of speed, I will go with the custom in how about royal blue? Yeah, that actually sounds pretty decent. A royal blue old car from like the 20s or 30s. Of course, I didn't check the date for it, which all I had to do for that was scroll down a little bit. Now, isn't this thing a beautiful? Isn't this thing a work of beauty? Just cleverly sculpted. I think I've actually seen the real life counterpart of the Burnside, but I'm not entirely sure what the actual real life version of the Burnside is called, so I honestly couldn't tell you. And of course, because this version of the Burnside is the custom, which comes with a very, very powerful V8 engine along with a lot of horsepower, it really loves to skid and spin out. Now, of course, if you're clever, you can drift a boat like this. And of course, it's a lot more difficult for me to drive in this game because I'm not using a controller or a wheel. I am instead using just ordinary keyboard keys because I'm what's the word for it? Not a noob. I mean, I've been playing this game for a while, so I'm not really new to the game, so that terminology doesn't really apply to me. I would not think it would anyway. I was hoping to do a sideways crash there, but that was a complete fail. I completely failed to crash sideways and just ended up spinning it out when I didn't want to. Brilliant me. I suck at sliding vehicles. I suck at making vehicles spin out. Now you would think that would be a very easy task, but then consider this thing is a very old vehicle, and it's a boat. It's a land boat. A very, very beautifully crafted land boat. I'm sorry about the lag. My computer is not exactly the most powerful, so some things do cause it to lag. I'm going to slow that down so I can show you all the beauty of a probably very expensive old car meeting its death. Let's speed that up a little bit. And I did not mean to put it to real time, but apparently that's what happened. And oddly enough, it's still running, but if you look at that, it is on fire. It's, in real life, fire means very bad things. A vehicle fire means very bad things, because that basically tells you that your oil is on fire. And if your oil is on fire, that is a very, very big hint or inclination to the oil pan being broken and leaking oil on very hot parts of the engine, possibly even the transmission. Honestly, I don't really have a whole lot to say in regards to gameplay or just myself in general. Like I said, I'm very awkward and new to this sort of thing, so don't expect stuff like this to be brilliantly written or anything. Like the intro, the announcement that I had, that was written out, scripted, if you could call it that. But of course I did mess up on that. I've stopped caring at this point though, so I'm just going to leave that in, and just deal with whatever it is later. I've already tried like 15 times to record it as perfectly as possible, but as I have figured out, it is not going to work like that because I am terrible at commentary. So that's the end of that. I'm not really sure what else to do here. So I think, for the sake of fun and for the sake of not boring everyone here, I will choose another map and see what I can do there. Here's a good map to try. Go to the Enduro Dome. Basically, an ultimate test terrain for your vehicle. No matter what kind of vehicle you've got, even if you got the beefiest, most allegedly indestructible vehicle in the game, it will slowly, over time, become more and more damaged. As you can see in the right left-hand corner, I do have the damage counter mod application. It is a mod, it is not stock with the game. For that, you actually get a J-beam or just a simple damage readout thing that lights up in different colors depending on how damaged the vehicle is. So I figured the damage counter, while it might allegedly be a little spotty with its readings, is a lot better and a lot more it takes up less space, is what I'm trying to say. It takes up less space on the screen, which makes the screen and the whole layout look a bit more, well, neat. Makes it look neater. At least that's what I believe, but I don't know exactly what any of you like or would like to have me do for the layout. I do know that there are people who enjoy a much simpler layout than this, and some people who go mad with wanting just about every app that there is put on screen. But honestly, if I was to try and put every application that this game has just stock on the screen, you wouldn't be able to see the truck in the background, so I'm not going to do that. If requested, I might do some specific apps in certain videos just to add a little bit of variety to the layout of my gameplay as I'm playing the game. Oh, why do I have a tendency to repeat myself just in different ways? I even repeated myself at the being awkward and whatnot, so definitely I'm going to need a lot of practice before I am on par with other more practiced YouTubers. But that's okay. You aren't a popular or well-practiced YouTuber on the first day. Of course, even if I started in a year from now, I wouldn't be a new YouTuber because I've had my channel for, well, already a few years, and I haven't really done much with it, but all things considered, I would say the audience that I have, however small, is, well, for the activity of my channel and how many videos I have uploaded, which isn't much, my subscriber count is decent, I would say. Of course, that's just me saying that. There are channels, absolutely insane channels out there where the owners or owner of that channel uploads one video and in the first month they get like hundreds of subscribers. I really don't know how they managed to do it. Okay, this course is almost over. Just through this gas station. This truck is not driving straight, so it's being very difficult. And of course, before I'm even able to finish it, the truck rolls and the axle is broken. So it's definitely not going to drive straight now. But for completion's sake, I'll see if I can get it off of this so I can try and complete it if that's even possible now. Let's get it this way more. Alright. Let's center that camera, zoom it out, and forward. Okay, so it doesn't like to turn right now, but it is very, very hesitantly turning. Now all I gotta do is get through these obstacles and I will be home free. This truck sucks. I mean, for aesthetics' sake, it's a nice truck. And it's a good starter for the game for people to actually get a feel for it. Just test it out and whatnot. The BeamNG pickup truck is, in my opinion, one of the better structured and J-beamed vehicles. It's one of the best modeled out of all the stock vehicles, in my opinion, and it has some of the best crashes. But it isn't the best looking. It is, however, the most fun to drive and crash, especially with the faster variants of the truck, which can go substantially faster than this one. Anyways, let's spawn up the D15 off-road, which is a manual, so I'm going to have to make sure that I pay attention to my shifting this time. As you can see, it's got a nice dark paint job, which I could have changed, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. It's got a partial roll cage with KC lights, a nice heavy-duty front bumper, the side steps, and for added, well, absurdity, it has a snorkel. Let's see how this does on the off-road course. My mouth is really dry because I keep talking. I'm not very good with talking. Unless it's with a person face to face and I already know them. I'm not exactly the most fun person to talk to in person, to be honest. I'm very disappointed with myself. Just absolutely disappointed. I could have dodged that. I could have turned left, but being as I am, I really want to see how well this version of the BeamNG pickup truck handles this very rough terrain, and if I am very unlucky, it is rolling. Okay. And the engine turned off. I'm lucky that that's all that happened. The engine turned off, so... You know what, I'm just going to see if I can damage it on this wall. This video is just a way for me to get warmed up a little bit to doing commentary and stuff of a similar topic, I guess you could say. So, oh god, that landed in the cab? Or did it land? No, it didn't land in the back. It would have stayed if it landed in the back. That would have been funny, though. Anyway, this video is just to introduce myself to gaming and recording. So I don't really expect a whole lot out of this. Before I end this video, I would just like to ask that if you want to see any more of this or any other future gameplay, just let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, this has been Silvertongue Phoenix with BeamNG.drive. Stay awesome.